Hi, this is Harish here. Welcome to DB2 LUW Tips and Tricks video tutorial part 166. In this video tutorial that I am going to give is the tip is how to reduce or lower your high water mark. In fact, this is the most frequently asked question, I guess. The scripts that I'm using, the data files that I'm using are available for free download at db2luwacademy.blogspot.com. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel youtube.com/db2luwacademy. This is a problem scenario and the solution. The problem scenario is we want to reduce or lower our high water mark. And when it comes to the concept of high water mark, it is at a table space level and it is not at a table level. This is something that we have to keep in mind. And this is applicable only for DMS or automatic storage table spaces only. So there is no concept of high water mark in SMS table spaces. And the table spaces should be the feature, reclaimable space feature should be enabled. If you are in the latest versions, like even I think 9.7 and above have the reclaimable space feature enabled. If you are in very old version of DB2 only, you are going to face some issues with that feature. But most of the time, it is like you are in the latest version, you are safe. Okay. The solution or the core concept that I want to understand is if you want to lower the high water mark, you need to require empty extents. You need to have empty extents below the current high water mark of the table space. So how do I know like whether those empty extents are available? The simple way to do that is you can use the db2 dot utility to dump the high water mark information. Like it will give you what is the high water mark information. Eventually I'll be showing that. And you can also use the same db2 dot utility to suggest ways on how to lower the high water mark. So it can do both the things. But the only problem is the dot utility. If you want like nearly perfect results, like very certain outcomes, then you might have to deactivate the database and run the dot utility. Particularly for dumping the high watermark information and the suggestion on how to lower the high watermark, if you are using the db2 dot utility for those purposes, then it is okay to run it online, but you will not get like maybe 100% accurate results, but it's kind of okay to live with. Okay, so it is a some result which is good enough, a result yielding good thing without the downtime. So and another thing is if you want to create those empty extents. So I said like you need to have the empty extents. So how will you have the empty extents? Because you will have to do rearg to create those empty extents on the tables. And keep in mind that this is at a table space level. So you will have in one table space 4 tables, 5 tables, 10 tables, 100 tables. So you don't know which table will have the most empty pockets. So if you want to understand that, then you can look at the n pages, f pages of the statistics and try to figure out which table is having more empty space and give preference to rearg of those tables first. So in a way you will have to do rearg on multiple tables multiple times, okay, to generate those empty extents below the high water mark. This is something I don't know, you can even ask the db2 utility to suggest ways. It can suggest those sequence of rearg. If it is not very accurate, then you will have to do it multiple times manually. Okay, and once you achieve that empty extents, then you can, it is just a very simple command, alter table space lower high water mark. That's all you have to do for reduction of the low, high water mark. So let me just go through this sequence of steps here. Okay, so here I am connecting to the sample database and dropping the table space MySpace. I'm creating a table space MySpace managed by database using a particular file container with 5000 pages, extend size and auto resize now. I'm creating table T1, creating table T2, creating table T3, and I'm running records for T1, T2, T3. So this is like db2 insert records.sql. It is available in the db2 academy.blogspot.com. So you can download from there. And I'm committing the transaction. Then I'm creating table T4 and I'm running records for that and I'm committing the transaction. And I'm deleting all the records from T1, T2, T3 because I want to have those empty pockets, right? So the hollow extents or empty extents. So even if I do all these things and connect reset and I use the db2 dot utility to dump the high watermark information, you will find that the high watermark is at pretty high, 294 pages, even after deletion of the records. That's because, see, this is the table T1 with table ID 4. This is the table T2 with table ID 5. This is the table T3 with table ID 6. And this is the table T4 with table ID 7. So even though most of the records are deleted in the table ID 4, 5, 6, they are still considered as reserved, okay, for that particular table. So it's not a empty extent, right? So what do I do is, like, I just run the db2 dot utility and I tell the utility to lower the high watermark, like suggest ways, like to reduce the high watermark. So that's the command for that. So once I do that, okay, and if I look at the report observation is this. This is the important observation in the report. The high watermark cannot be lowered further as there are not enough free extents to move the object holding the high watermark. So this is what I was telling you. You will have to end up doing the reorg. Okay, even if you delete the records, it's still not enough. So what do? I connect to the sample database. I reorg. I take some sequence T1, T2, T3. And I connect reset, and after that again I am dumping the high watermark information, and voila. So you saw those empty extents. These are the empty extents that I'm talking about. You need to have these empty extents, then only you can even think of reducing the high watermark or lowering the high watermark. So once you got these empty extents, but you will still see there is a problem here, because the object ID that is holding the high watermark is 4. So you can see this guy here, right? So this guy, which is like the table T1. So I have to do a reorg of that particular table. So reorg table T1, connect reset. Again I dump the high watermark information, and look at this last two extents, right? So when I reorg those things, so those two things become empty, okay? And the high watermark is still at 306 pages, and there are a lot of empty extents. And particularly there is no object holding the high watermark. So that observation you can see, the high watermark is not held by any extent for any object in this table space. So this is a good sign. So pretty much at this stage I should be able to lower the high watermark by simply issuing the command alter table space lower high watermark. That is the command that I should use. So I'm just, in any case, connecting to the sample database, and I'm issuing the list table space, and I can observe the high watermark is at 294 pages. And I'm asking again the suggestion in the dot utility, how can I go further, right? So it is suggesting me to do an offline reorg on the object ID 7, okay, which is not mandatory, okay. So because it is telling you two suggestions. So one is to perform the suggested offline reorg. The second suggestion is, since I have reclaimable space enabled, I can just issue the command alter table space lower high watermark, which is what I have done. So connect to sample, alter table space lower high watermark, list table space show detail, and I should be able to see the high watermark got reduced to 150. It was at around 294. See here, it was about 294 pages, and it got reduced to 150. So you can repeat this test case. Like I'll probably quickly do that if it is possible. So I'll just copy that, drop table space. I'll go here. I have already connected to the sample database, so I have dropped it. So I'll come back to Pluma and I'll create the table space. I'll show you maybe one or two steps, then you can just continue it on, okay. Just for the brevity of the video, I don't want to run the entire thing. So I'm creating the table space, okay, that command is done. And I can just run all these three commands in sequence, creating the table T1, T2, T3, okay, copy. So I'll go here and I'll just paste, okay. So all commands done, okay. And then I have to run the insert records, so I'll do that also. Copy, I'll come back and I'll paste, okay, commit, that is also done. And I'll create the table T4, copy, T4, done. And insert the records for T4. Insert the records for T4 and delete the records and connect reset. So everything I'll do in one go. So okay, done. Connect reset, and I am going to dump the high watermark information. Copy and paste. Look at this, the database is not active. I have done connect reset. So, and now I can say more sample.rpt. So you should be able to see the exact things. See here, 294 pages, and none of here I see the empty extents, right? So which is what I was telling you here. So you will not have any empty extents at all, right? So what do? I have to do this rearg. Okay, connect to the sample and I'll perform the reargs. Okay, I'll come back to the terminal. Okay, so let me do the rearg. So connect to the sample, rearg table 1, table 1, table 3 and connect reset. Okay, done. And then I'll again dump the high watermark information and see. Okay, so it should generate the empty extents as of now. So that is the idea, right? Okay, so let's do that. There you go. You saw all those empty extents, and you can also see the number 4, object ID 4 holding the high watermark, right? So which is what as per the documentation like we have prepared. Okay, so in order to reduce that, I have to perform a rearg on those table. Okay, so I'll just perform the rearg on that table. I'll come back here, I'll paste. Oops, it's not pasting. Okay, I have performed the rearg. So once I performed the rearg, if I dump the high watermark information, I should be able to see that the extent 4 is gone, right? Okay, the reports is ready. There you go. The 4950 extents are empty, which is what I was telling you. So pretty much at this stage, nothing is holding the high watermark and no issues over there. So I should be able to just connect to the sample database, and I'll just run that. Connect to sample database, copy, connect to the sample database, list table spaces, show detail. So the high watermark page is at 294. So I should be able to just simply say alter my space lower high watermark, because I have the empty extents and I don't have any object ID holding the empty extents as well. So I should be able to lower this and just go again, run. The high watermark should be 150. There you go, 150. Okay, so that is the simplest way. Okay, and this is just not a single scenario. There are multiple things that can happen. You don't know the exact sequence in which you need to run the rearg to generate those empty extents, or the empty extents might already have been there. So it depends on a lot of things and how much activity is going on the table. In terms of, see here in this example I have deleted all the records, but you might have a lot of pockets here and there. So the contiguity of the extents is important here. So it is a hit or miss. Okay, so worst case scenario, you will have to just export all the data and import it back again. So that's the worst case scenario for you. And hopefully this information was useful to you. Thanks for watching the video, and subscribe to my channel youtube.com/db2luw academy. See you in the next video tutorial. Until then, bye bye.